Hello everybody, it's Lisa with Heart of Inspiration. Yeah, this is gonna be a little bit different tonight, guys. I'm just going to on my phone so I can see the chat easier. Good, it all went, guys. It went live. Hey, Mr. Clarence. Hello, everybody. Hey, Jasmine. I'm just gonna let y'all come on in. This is not, I don't know what this is, but I felt like I just needed to go live. You know, you guys, I've been dealing with some things. Yes. I know, guys, I know. Okay, let me just... Well, Clarence, that's what I'm talking about tonight a little bit. Hello. You know what we're doing tonight? We're going to listen to some of my most inner thoughts. And so this is a little bit more serious tonight. This isn't a... Yeah, this is going to be a little more serious. I want to be sure I'm catching all of the comments, so just bear with me here. 1 second. My channel. And we can view that there. All right. Good evening, Lena. So yeah, I'm not sure how many, you know, guys, I mean, I hope this is something that you can take, or I just kind of, tonight I needed to talk. I needed to talk tonight. I'm glad you got a notification. Yeah, I haven't been posting too much today, so probably. So in answer to your question, Clarence, it's going to be a few days before Aquarius is coming out. You notice I've been getting them out super duper slow. And as most of you know from some of my previous videos, you know, I'm dealing with my grandmother's impending transition. And helping her, right? Helping her through this process. I did not expect to feel the way that I feel. And I'll just give you an update. So some of you remember, and some of you may not want to even like stay on this video, and if you don't, that's totally cool. I get it, and you know what, I'll survive it. And so I don't want anybody to look at this video and think, I don't want anybody's pity. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? I always come out, and I'm always real. Sometimes some people would say a little too real, but I keeps it 100, as the kids say. So, you know, I told you guys in an earlier video this week or late last week, that Grandma's, maybe it was late last week, Grandma's spirit was just calling to me like, oh my gosh, you know, she's not letting me go. You know, like it's a very interesting, situation to be in when a loved one or anyone, when their spirit man is calling to your spirit and saying she or he won't let me go. Like the reality that our spirit is truly our true selves, and this is just the shell that we've chosen to use in the meantime. That's a reality that is just beyond. And I got a glimpse into that reality with my grandmother, because her spirit was speaking to me. Now, I've been on here and we've done the whole medium thing, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I've heard from some of your loved ones that have gone on. I've never until now heard from someone whose spirit is still here, yet their body is failing, right? Their body is about to expire. So this is different for me, and this is a very real thing, right? It's the reality of understanding that we are truly a triune being, and that at our true core, we are spirit, we are energy. But that spirit is not us. Hey, Lisa. That spirit, like, this body is not us. She is in limbo. Right. She, like, is right now fluidly going between both worlds. But her ego mind doesn't really recognize that, right? Because when you see her in person, she kept saying, I'm scared. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do it. Because the ego mind is like, what's really on the other side? And if anyone would start talking to her about heaven, like, you know, my mom, you know, Denise, I love her. But she's sitting here talking to Grandma Kathy about heaven. And I'm like, honey, that's the worst word you could use. You might as well have cussed her out. Rather than say, you know you're saved, you're going to heaven. You know, that just like wigged her out every rip. And I'm like, Mama, you got to stop saying that, because she's not trying to hear it. And so it's just interesting. So back to this whole concept of this is Grandma's spirit. Grandma's spirit has been talking to me and my mom, because my mom is really awakening in a big way. Talking to my mom and I, and it's like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go. And she's not letting me leave. Right? She's not letting me leave. And so I told her, spirit I would come and help. I said, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I went to see her. My mother's my grandfather's 24-hour home attendant. He's 91. Her spirit won't let him. Oh, wow. Ugh. She's going to need to let him go, Jillian. My dad went through similar almost. He almost died a year ago. He wasn't supposed to survive, and he always goes on that he controlled his body with his mind. Yes. And he's not supposed to be here. Well, he is supposed to be here. It wasn't truly his time. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here. But you're right. He did control his re-entry into this world. Now, Jillian, Jasmine, I'm interesting. Overall, I'm okay. It's just interesting. I'm recognizing I'm human again. I know that might sound a little weird. Jillian, she's going to have to let him go. Because his spirit doesn't want to be here. And I can feel that. So I'm like, okay, now what are we doing? Are we doing something brand new? We got a brand new thing happening here? You know, you guys please like the video. I know this is very different. I know I'm not pulling cards. And I don't know if I'm going to make this private. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I had to talk about this. As a light worker, and as one that teaches. And as all of you find this and begin to ascend, the mind is very powerful. As we begin to, and as we're going through our awakening process and we become more and more powerful and more aware, and different gifts begin to, oh my gosh, I do not want to do this. Different gifts open up to us, right? They become available to us. And thank you, Jasmine. Yes, it's very true. You're going to find yourself as you guys grow in this, yeah? Because I believe anybody that's watching this now and that's going to watch the replay, you're truly of a light worker ilk, a light warrior ilk. You have a plan, you have a purpose. You might be a light worker or a light warrior in the context of, you know, being an entrepreneur or whatnot. Whatever the case is, not everyone's going to be on YouTube. I get that. And I'm okay with that. And you should be too, because all of our callings aren't exactly the same. But as you grow in this, there's two things that happen. Wow, Tawanda, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for your loss. That's tough. As you grow in this, guys, and as we get more powerful, two things happen. One, we start operating in the spirit realm so much so, all that power comes. The power comes, right? And it's both intoxicating and liberating, all at the same time. And you become superhuman in some ways. I know 3 years ago, Tawanda, but it'll be 10 years very soon. But my father, we're coming on the 10-year anniversary of my father passing. It doesn't, it's a new normal. Yeah. So you become this superhuman. I'm still happy, guys. And but I need you all to see this too, because this is a part of being a light worker and a light warrior. You have to remember you're human. Or should I say humanity reminds you. the humanity, hello Deanna. Humanity reminds you that you're human. The human experience, and we came here and chose to do this for a reason. So as you grow and you become more powerful, I think sometimes we forget. Because I can move mountains, right? I can change the course of a situation. I can co-create my world. I can help others co-create. Hey, Miss Townsend. Right? I can help others manifest, like all these wonderful things. And I teach you. And I learn from you. And I don't know that I don't know, Angelic Quest, Surely some of it is a little bit of spiritual ego. But I don't know that we go that, I don't think I personally have gone that far. And I hope that most don't go that far. Spiritual ego I look at is really where you're just like, I am God, right? You cease to want others. I love you guys too. Spiritual ego is you cease to want others to learn and know what you know, because you want to keep it to yourself, and you exalt yourself and put yourself on this high pedestal. And that's the last thing that I want. Now, I understand that I have a responsibility being a teacher, but I don't want to be put on a pedestal. Totally different. There's a level of respect, but not a pedestal. So anyway, and I respect all of you, because all of you have wonderful, magnificent gifts, and each of you has taught me something. Each of you has opened something up in me and opened my eyes to something new in your own way. And it's beautiful. And I love it. And that's another reason why I do what I do, like just to get to know people, right? So, and get fed. Man, we all feed each other. But there comes a point, right? Even in all of this power, and all of this knowledge, and all of this deep wisdom, that we cannot stop the human body from passing. In a lot of cases, in most cases, right? A lot, I'll just say a lot. That even through all of this, I know it's my responsibility to help my grandmother transition. And it is a beautiful thing. And my son went to go see her today because she's been waiting to see him. And my son went to go see her today. And then 2 hours later, her blood pressure began to drop, and she's still here. You know, but they said if it drops again, like, they're just going to make her comfortable. So she was waiting for my son. She kept asking for my son. It's like, why do you want to see my big head boy? But she wanted to see my big head boy, that grandson of hers. Actually, great-grandson. That was her first great-grandson. And then all of a sudden, I felt the sadness of the human loss. And knowing that it's going to be time soon. Oh, why is it my responsibility to help her transition? Because it is. Her spirit reached out to mine. And it's like, look, I want out, man. I'm trying to get out of here. And, but her mind is, she's suffering from dementia. So her mind is to know that it's okay. That it's safe. You see, Grandma's never really felt safe most all of her life. I'm sure there was some time, there were some moments. But as a child, she wasn't safe. As an adult, as in her first marriage, she wasn't safe. In her second marriage, she wasn't safe. It wasn't until she got single, finally, and really came to understand and have a relationship with Creator, that she became safe, right? That she finally began to blossom into who she became. And then COPD, well, because my grandfather, so her mother, my great-grandma, was a raging alcoholic. Would leave her alone a lot. did not protect her. She'd have to go get her mom out of the... Now, my grandma's 89 years old, okay? So let's just get the context of the times. She'd have to go get her out of the bar. You know, the bar would call and say, your mom's down here, come get her, you know. And she got married very young. She's white. She got married very young in the 50s, mind you, to a black man. That wasn't done in the 50s. So her parents disowned her. She's a little white girl. She ain't no business marrying a black man. She never felt welcome in the black community, of course. She's a white woman. And he was horribly abusive. When you saw my mom, right, before some of you saw her when she was on my channel, when she was here over Christmas, you know, her father, that was her father, horribly abusive to the family. Horribly. I mean, not even, I mean, horribly. And you just took it then. Interestingly enough, contrast that with my father's mother, who was getting abused down south in Arkansas, packed the 4 kids I think she had at the time, and came up to Chicago because she wasn't going to take it. It's interesting how two sides of the family are very different. Both of my grandmothers. So anyway, so then grandma gets, you know, they finally get divorced, which you didn't do in the 60s. They get divorced. She goes on, then she becomes a raging alcoholic just like her mom. So then my mom and my aunts are going to get her out of the bar. And she drank and drank and drank and drank for years. And then she got married. I was 12. No. Was I 10 or 11? Did she get married? I think I was 11. No, I was 12 when she got remarried to Charles. And he was just terrible. Now, Charles was a lot younger than Grandma, so that's where I got my penchant for younger men. I came by it honest. But still in all, anyway, Charles was not the best man. And my grandma didn't have no problem leaving Charles either, let me tell you. Now, in between Grandpa, whom I never met, my biological grandfather actually was murdered by a woman. Shot in the head, but they said that it was a suicide. I wasn't but a few months old. I never met him. True story. Anyway, he raised his hand to her. She shot him in the bathroom. Anyway, so there was, men in between then, I always did see Grandma with somebody. We would go over there while they were all playing cards, my auntie and all of them, with the spinning bottle of Crown Royal. Now, some of y'all might not be old enough to remember that big old bottle of Crown Royal that was spin on a thing. Yes, so the story about my grandfather, I really tiptoed over that. So I told you my grandfather was black. He dated another white woman. He put his hands on that white woman. And it is what it is. But I'm just telling you, setting it up. It's the 60s. So she shot him, and the police said that it was a suicide. Nobody said anything else about it afterwards. The Crown Royal in the purple bag. Wow, Tawanda. Well, you know what? I'm not, you can't keep putting your hands on people. I mean, my grandfather, biological grandfather, was so terrible to those girls. And my eldest, everybody growing up, that my eldest aunt can't have kids, never could have kids because as a result of some of the things that happened. So anyway, I'm telling her story. So yeah, so not only the crown royal and the purple bag, I'm talking about there was a gigantic one that was on, it was on a wooden stand, and literally the thing, you would turn it over to pour it. It was that big of a bottle. I don't know about my grandfather. The only thing I know about my grandfather was that we believe his mother was pure, we're not sure what tribe, because she was kicked out of the tribe when she slept with a black man. So we believe he was half native, half black, but we are having a very difficult time finding out what tribe. So yeah, them purple bags, we used to use them to carry change in and stuff. I mean, all manner of things. I had marbles in them at one point, because Daddy used to drink a lot. I had marbles in some. I had Barbie shoes and clothes in another. Honey, I had all kinds of Crown Royal bags running around. So anyway, so we would go over there, and Grandma always had, a man. She always did. Some better than others. She was the other woman for a long time. He had a whole wife and a whole family across town, but he lived with Grandma. Never could get married, of course, because, he was still married to old girl across town. Now, that side chick stuff I didn't pick up from Grandma. The younger man stuff, yes. The drinking, perhaps. But Grandma always kept it real. And Grandma Kathy is, I'm going to tell you something. I was probably 10 or 11 years old. And my uncle got married. My mother only has one brother. It's the youngest of the 5. And he got married to Caucasian women. And so they had this big old, this ginormous wedding and reception. It was regal. And I was walking, I'll never forget. I was walking up to the reception tent with my grandma. And she leaned over to me and she said, "This is what you get if you marry a white man." I was like, what? Now that day, Grandma was dropping all kinds of knowledge. Have I ever thought about making a book? Not about my life, but sometimes I have, Clarence. Sometimes I have. Yes, Tawanda. Yep. That happens a lot. That happened a lot. So a lot of us that think that we are ADOS, perhaps have more native in us than anything else. But anyway, Tawanda, you may have to delete that because I don't know, but with all this craziness about YouTube and the community guidelines, so you might have to delete that statement, honey. I'm not saying that it offends me because it was just what happened, but I think we might need to delete that, baby. So, I'm going to write a spiritual book. I don't know if I have African in me. I do not know if I'm ADOS. Anyway, so Grandma that day got drunk and was dropping mad knowledge on me. Like, and I'm telling you, some of this stuff was just, I held this to this day. She said, "Look, honey, when you have kids," I'm 12 years old now. Thank you, sweetie. I'm 12 years old, okay? I'm 12. She says, "Listen, honey, when you have kids, you do right by them and everything, but you have to keep your life too. Keep you alive too. Because your kids grow up, if you raise them correctly, they grow up and they go out on their own. And if you've poured everything you can into your children and not kept anything for yourself, you will be heartbroken and lonely and left with nothing. Plus, it's healthy for them to see you live your own life. Now, she said, don't go so far as I did where they had to come get me out the bar, but live your life. Have a life. It's healthy for everybody. She said, apologize to your children. We make mistakes. It's okay to apologize to them. Let them see that you're human. Let them see that you make mistakes. And really hear them out and find out how your actions may have left them feeling. Now that was very different. Now we're talking, I was 11, I was born in 68, so this is 79. That's a very different concept from how, now some of y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, children should be seen, not heard. You don't ask your kids how they felt about things. And I tried to do that for the most part. I think I did pretty good. I certainly didn't administer not even close to the number of beatdowns that I got. And hopefully the next generation will do better. I got to talk to my son about that. But my point is this, that she just was that day just dropping all kinds of knowledge. And shortly after that, then she stopped drinking. But I still got plenty of knowledge from her. I mean, she found Jesus, honey. She was the first person to take me to church because my daddy wouldn't let us go to church. She was the first person to ever take me to church. I got baptized in the Holy Spirit with the evidence of speaking in tongues at a church service I went to with my grandmother. My grandmother was one of the first people that I told about my dreams and my visions because I wasn't sure I could tell my mom. But I knew I could tell my grandmother. My grandmother helped me through so much as far as learning who I was spiritually and honing those gifts. Sometimes it's good, Triple G. Sometimes it's not so good. Yes. So, my grandmother. So when she came to me Thursday afternoon, spiritually, and said, baby, I need your help. She's not letting me go. I'm ready to go. And so we started this little negotiation of, well, you can't go just yet. I have to bring my mom into town. I know. And, you know, I said, I said, the grandchildren, the great-grandchildren are all going to want to see you. I know. And she said, but I'm ready to go. And I said, and by the way, I'm going to Ohio this coming weekend. She said, well, now. So I'm still negotiating. But she came to me and she said, the body is tired and ready to go. The mind is holding on to me, though. Her mind's holding on. Her mind's filled with fear. I need your help. I said, well, I knew this a month ago, the last time she was in the hospital. But I also knew it wasn't time yet. I knew I would have to help her through this a month ago. I just knew it wasn't time. So when she came to me this time, Thursday afternoon, I was like, oh, what do? You don't sit here and say no with your grandma. My point to all this ramblings, and I thank you so much for putting up with the ramblings. Yeah, she kind of was. She kind of is kind of like not happy. And my whole thing is this. Okay, if you decide you just can't hold on, let me at least be in Ohio. Because as long as I'm in Ohio, I know they ain't gonna have a funeral before I get back. It's gonna be the weekend. And if y'all know anything about black folk, although we don't have that many people to come, well, my uncle would have to come up from Nashville. And that's it. I don't have Nene, Pookie, Uncle Rob, and all them. She was the only child. So we don't really have much family that's not close by. So we now typically, you know how we do this. Typically, y'all black folks, y'all know what I'm talking about here. Y'all know what I'm talking about. For the rest of y'all, let me help you understand something. You be good and dead by the time we put you in the ground. Because usually we gotta wait for everybody and their mama that wanna come to come. They got to catch the Greyhound bus, some of them. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And you know, you could be dead a good week and a half, 2 weeks before we have your funeral. Because we had to wait on everybody. Just saying. We had to wait. Well, this the truth though. I'm telling y'all. Yeah, I'm helping y'all understand. This is that I need my sisters to back me up on this one, y'all. Don't leave me out here hanging like I'm the only one that we might have to wait a week and a half to 2 weeks to bury. Thank you. Okay, Lisa. All right. You got a little in you. Deanna, you know that's not how it is. You know that's not how it is. It is usually a week or two, I'm telling you. But we ain't gonna have to wait that long. I do believe she'll probably go while my mama up here. We did it in less. Did y'all do it that fast? We didn't do it that fast. Oh, Deanna, she said y'all going in the ground like they like they did in the biblical times, huh? 3 days. Yeah, I know. You know what, Deanna? I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know. I still to this day, there's a strength that comes over you that sustains you through the process. And I feel like my daddy passed on it was a Friday, because I was about to go to Aliyah Sophia party. I was about to go have a party. And they called me. It was a Friday afternoon he passed. We didn't bury Daddy for another week. I know it was that next Friday, I think, at the earliest, because we had to get everybody from down south up here. My brother was living down in Tulsa at the time. We had to find him. We didn't even know where he was. He hadn't been in contact with nobody. So, child, I mean, I wish that, we could have done it that fast. But, honey. So, anyway, I'm praying that they got everything together. And, this has been a while coming. So, it shouldn't be that long. So, my point to the matter is that, listen. Do it over the weekend, and then so everybody can get up here. Okay. Do it over the weekend so we can come on up and go and be back. because people done pay money. And I told my mama already, I said, Mama, if she go and Aunt Lynn is doing the 3-day thing, I'm not going to be here because, you know, I have obligations. So that was the negotiation I've been making with Grandma. I can't say for sure she's going to hold up her end of the bargain. But she said maybe. Well, Deanna, I'm with you, honey. You know, it took us a couple weeks to bury a couple of my family members. But, again, I don't know. I think I'm going to tell my kids the same thing. Do it. Get it over with. Well, I don't know if you got a lot of family elsewhere, but, you know, I don't know. Do you got family elsewhere? Anyway, now I'm rambling. I feel better, though. I just had to make this video, and I know sometimes some of you all on a Wednesday. Well, you know, I'm going to tell you something. She do that, you know, then you get your nice little 3-4 day weekend. Be nice to me. I get 2 or 3 days from my grandmother for bereavement. Back to reality. Anyway, I wanted to make this video. I know some of y'all don't like it necessarily when I show this side of me. But it needs to be seen, you guys. Because you have to understand, even when you get to the point where you are leading a group of people, first of all, understand that you're always going to need somebody to come back to. Like, all of us need someone to lean on. And I wasn't necessarily using y'all to lean on. I was just wanting you all to see. I needed to get this off my chest. And I shared so much about what has made the history that has made me who I am today. When I think about it, when I think about all of the abuse and the violence and everything that happened, throughout my ancestry, that shaped and formed who I am today. Hey, Victoria. Thanks, Lisa. Thank you, Angelic. It formed it, yeah. And that's a lot of generational stuff I had to break. That finally, in my generation, in me, and for my kids, it finally broke. So the least I could do in honor of my grandmother is to help her transition. At least get her on the... Lisa, I seen your chakras, girl. I seen your chakras, honey. That's the least I could do, right? Is to help her transition. Now, she hasn't yet. But I don't think that there's anyone else. I'm not hearing anyone else that she wanted to see. I think she's good. I think she's finally good now. And I think that's why I have this sense of not only relief, but this human sense of sorrow. Because I know she's going. And although I could very easily intervene. I could intervene right now. I know I could. So she could at least make it to her 90th birthday, which, by the way, would be on the last day of the conference in Madison. I could intervene, but I'm not going to, because it's not the natural order of things, and this is the human experience that we live. Charles. No, honey. No, honey. So, I'm not going to intervene. I'm going to let her go. And let her decide if she wants to do this all over again, come back as another human being, or whether or not she wants to just hang out and be my spirit guide for a while. I'll let her make that choice. I feel like she owes me at least a little while of guiding. She owes me a little bit. Or maybe she could be Ray's spirit guide. Because good Lord knows, 10 of Pickles. Ay, ay, ay. 10 of Pickles, I need some extra help with 10 of Pickles. Because that girl there, that girl's seeing little blonde girls in a greenhouse. There are books manifesting in, literally, books manifesting in the house. She's seeing angels. She's seeing monsters too. I need some help with her. So I think her great-grandmother, her great-great-grandmother needs to watch over her for me. While I'm not there. I mean, I think she could do me that solid. Oh yeah, honey. We got things happening. We got things happening. My poor son just is freaking out. Ma, did you bring these books over? No. She said the little blonde girl in the greenhouse gave them to her. I'm like, okay. She did. Well, what do you mean? What sign is 10 of Pickles? She's a Gemini. Wow, 10 of Pickles is a Gemini. I gotta run her whole birth chart and see what her ascendant and her moon is. But that little girl, honey, and so he about freaked out. I had to let him calm down for 20 minutes. I said, listen, honey, you're freaking out over nothing. I said, look, this is who she is. And then I had explained to him, son, you saw angels and other manner of spirits at 6. What did you think was going to happen? I did. He don't completely forgot. I'm like, what is wrong with you? I tell you all these things, you don't listen. So, you know, I could really use, because my mother is her great-grandmother, great-great-grandma, and honey. So that would be very nice. She is a feisty one. And her daddy argue, and I need to really stop them from, you know, I'll talk to him. Anyway, so, but I had to come on here and talk about these things. These are the inner thoughts. I never thought that all of this would be leading up to times like this, right? We don't think that we're going to have to, or be faced with the possibility of utilizing the gifts that we've been given with our loved ones. Or that our loved ones could help us discover new ones, right? Not in this way. But this is part of who we have to be as light workers and light warriors. This is who we have to be. Sometimes we have to do some things outside of humanity, right? while never losing humanity. I guess I was just reminded that I'm still living this human experience today. So I will keep you all posted on Kathleen's transition. She'll go easily in the night. One of these nights very soon. I'm just asking her to please make it Friday night or Saturday night. I would really appreciate that. Yeah. I appreciate you all listening. Oh, that's how she spells it too. Thank you. Thank you, Ninja. Alright, guys. Hey, thanks for listening to me yammer along. Hello, Evolve. For the last hour. Good Lord, I was only going to be on here for a half hour. Now you guys got my life story and everything, and other life stories. No, I need to go, honey. I need to hang up some clothes. I washed some clothes. That was the noise at the beginning of the video. I need to hang them up so they can dry so I can get off to Ohio on Friday. That's okay, hon. You can watch it. It's just me yammering tonight. So we'll see y'all in the morning. It might be super early because I think I have to be to work like early tomorrow. If you all can, please do check out the website. I want to see you guys in April. I want to see as many of you that can be here in April. It's going to be so powerful. Kathleen will have transitioned by then, so it's going to be powerful. She'll be there in spirit. Okay? Alright, guys, we'll see you guys in the morning. Peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much. Namaste, beloved.